I think one of the biggest fears, well, it certainly was for me, and I think I can talk for a lot of people who will agree with this, is, and no doubt some people watching this may be in this right now, fearful of life without alcohol, life without the booze. The idea of being able to go through the rest of your life, being able to go to occasions, go to weddings, go to have Christmas Day and weekends and go to the football and whatever it may be, go and see your friends. How on earth are you going to be able to do all these things without drinking? How is that possible? It was something that it genuinely, not only was it a worry, it was like, it felt like doom. I was dreading it. It's one part I genuinely felt like I was going to be the most miserable soul. I was going to be so bored, and I didn't know how I was going to get through it. And it was one of the reasons why I was. We know, like, you got the devil on your shoulder, convincing me, "Don't do this, don't do this. Go on, you can carry on drinking, you can carry on drinking." And that was one of the reasons. It was like, "What are you going to do? What are you going to do then? What are you going to go to the football and not drink? What, are you a madman? What are you going to do? Christmas Day? What are you telling me? You're not going to have a Bucks Fizz in the morning? You're not going to be drinking all day, drinking rum all day that you used to love doing? You ain't going to do that. How boring is Christmas Day going to be for you?" I had all these fears. Oh my God, I was dreading it. And I think it's justified because it is a big change. I mean, losing alcohol is like losing that drink inside of you, right? Is like losing a part of your personality, a part of who you are. You mourn that person. And I will talk about that in another video. That's another subject for another day. But I want to talk about the fun side of it. How on earth, how on earth do you get through life? How on earth do you get through and enjoy your life now without booze? How, without a drink in your hand? It's a big question. And I'll tell you what, and because it's summertime and I've just been on holiday, it doesn't look like I have. I think it's the lighting in it. I look a bit better than I do at the moment, I promise you. There's a bit of a tan. I think because I've got the light on there, it makes me look like, because people have commented and went, "I thought you went on holiday." On the other channel, I do. People are commenting on there. Um, but I have. And I'm also going away again in a few weeks' time just for a short break again in the sun. And I thought it was right to talk about this because I think it's a good time to talk about it and to give people the understanding of my journey and what I experienced with this. So I gave up the drink in August 23. So I'm almost 3 years. Almost. In fact, I'm 11 days away from 3 years, right? And I think so I gave up in the August, and I think in October we went away. We went away as a family to Butlins, in Bognor Regis. Gotta love a bit of Butlins in Bognor. Oh, it's classic. Classic. Kids love it. But I'll be honest, I was dreading it. Dreading it. I thought, how on earth am I going to go to Butlins and not have a beer? How am I going to do this? In fact, let's rewind the first time I went Butlins for my kids. We went there with my wife and the kids and the in-laws, right? And this is when I was drinking and at the time. And I remember we walked into the complex. There's this sort of big, huge tent, and there's restaurants and there's arcades and all this sort of stuff. And the first thing I was doing was looking for the pub. And I remember saying to my wife, "Oh look, there's a bar over there. There's a bar over there. Look." And I was dying to know what beers they had on tap. So I went, "Can you just wait?" And I remember her parents looking at me as if to sort of say, "Why is that a priority? We've just arrived here with your children. They are the priority. They should be the focus. Like, don't take them to soft play. Let's go and play some arcade games." No, but what you're bothered about is knowing what beers they've got on tap. That's how caught up I was in all of it, right? So that was quite a few years ago. Fast forward to 2023, and where I was a couple of months into sobriety. So very early days, still in that real bind, but I knew I was there. I talked about in the previous video what got me there, and I will talk about that again. I'm going to talk about lots of things on this channel. And by the way, before I do carry on, one, please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Growing channel here. Third video. Every Sunday, 6 p.m. and every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Sunday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. I'll have another video out. That's my intention. I will try my very best, but that's my intention. So the next one will be Wednesday. But anyway, so like and subscribe. But yeah, I went to Butlins, right? And my sobriety, sorry, at this point I was a couple of months into it, right? A couple of months into sobriety. So it's a bit of an awkward time. And but I was determined. I knew I was there at this point. I was very determined. I knew I wasn't going to cave. I was very, very set now. I'd had a big setback, and then it was my final night of drinking, and I knew that I was very set. And I was dreading it. I was absolutely dreading going. I thought, how on earth am I going to go away? How are we going to? Because I hadn't been out really. I'd been sort of been a bit of a hermit for a couple of months because I was just so fearful of going out and drinking. So I just tried to lock myself away a little bit. I've been out to the odd little thing, but not much. So going away for a long weekend with bars around me, we're going out for meals with family. We're going to be, loads of things going on, and I was dreading it. I didn't know how I was going to cope. I can hand on heart say it was one of the best experiences of my life. I not only did I have a better time, but in terms of my relationships with my children improved, and I noticed it there and then. I noticed that I was present at last for my family. Like, no longer was I longing for a drink. No longer was that a prisoner was I anymore to that bloody drink. I was finally able to give time and energy to my family, and I loved every minute of it. Going to those arcades and playing games with my kids, taking them on rides, and having this brilliant time. Me and my wife waking up because she was kind of joining me on it a little bit. Although she was having a little cheeky beer and stuff like that, she wasn't really drinking much because, like, she's not a big drinker anyway. She used to be like a drink with me. I think a lot of it was my influence, to be honest, because I used to be quiet. Come on, let's have a drink. Let's have a drink. So once I stopped, she sort of naturally started to slow as well. And I remember we woke up in the morning, our first morning there at Butlins, and it was early. It was about sort of 6 in the morning. Kids are asleep, everyone's asleep. She went, should you go for a walk on the beach? Should we just go let them know we're going to go for a walk? And me and her just went for this lovely walk along the beach, and it was raining and it was windy. And I never felt so happy. Like, it was like this freedom I had. It was like waking up and I had the whole day ahead of me, and there was no hangover, no anxiety, no, oh God, what about last night? What happened last night? And oh, I've got to drag myself through this day now, and thinking to myself, oh, once I get to lunchtime, I can have a beer and that'll help me out and I'll feel better. Like, that, it was like a huge weight off me. And I know people will say, like, when I was drinking, right, I used to hear people say stuff like that, like, "Oh, the sober holidays are my best holidays. I've had such a great time," and all this stuff, right? And I used to think, "Oh, just do one," as if, like, just stop kidding yourself. You're saying this because you can't drink anymore, so you're trying to tell everyone how brilliant it is. Stop kidding yourself. We're having fun. You're not. It's bullshit. I promise you. I was wrong. I had the best time, and now, obviously, fast forward today. I've just come back from holiday. I was 10 days, right, in an all-inclusive holiday. There are bars everywhere, and I can just walk up and go, Cerveza, hit me. Do you know what I mean? But no, I didn't. And I had no desire to. I like a zero. I like a Cerveza sin alcohol. Bit of Spanish. Yeah, I'm doing Duolingo. I'm getting there. And, but yeah, so I like the non-alcoholics, I will admit, here and there. But I have no desire for it. And I've now got to a place where I would never even want to ruin my holidays with that stuff. Do you know what I mean? There's no part of me that goes, "Oh, I wish I was getting drunk. I wish I was getting on it tonight." Not at all. I see people getting drunk now and I think, "Oh, what a waste. What a waste of your time." Do you know what I mean? I see people at the bar during the day and they've got kids and they're just sitting at a bar getting drunk and the kids are playing. Don't get me wrong. Please don't think I'm judging these people going, "Oh yeah." I just feel sorry for them in a way. I feel like saying, you don't realise, like, the fun and the enjoyment's there, not here at the bar. This is just like, it really isn't. And look, I appreciate some people can drink comfortably. I'm not trying to. I'm speaking for people. This is purely for people that are struggling, that people that are drinking far too much or struggle to control it or binge drink. Like, I was a bad binge drinker. I struggled to control it. I was a binge drinker. Just because you wake up in the morning and you don't have a shot of vodka doesn't mean you're not an alcoholic or you've got a drinking problem. All right. And I had a big drink problem. Like I've said about before, like, I walk into a place and it was like, where's the pub? Where is it? Where can I have a drink? That's, it's not right, is it? Let's be honest. It's not a good way to be living your life. So for those of you that are worried, for those of you that think that I'm never going to be able to enjoy my life again, I promise you, and I swear to God, and I mean this from honest, being truthful to you. I wouldn't lie. I'm honest, right? I would tell you everything. And another thing I wanted to say It's if you've got a subject you want me to talk about, and it doesn't necessarily mean it could be a subject you want me to discuss, or you want to ask me some questions about my life. Ask me because I want content ideas, and I'll keep answering those, and I'll talk more. And eventually, we'll do live chats on this channel. I just need to get things sorted out, but I will do that. But if you've got any ideas, let me know. But anyway, I'm talking hand on heart when I say this. My life has been so much better, and I've enjoyed my holidays so much more. It's such a wonderful feeling waking up in the morning and you're somewhere lovely with your family, wherever it may be, and you've got no hangover, no anxiety, no clouded memories of oh god, what happened yesterday? What happened? Oh god, what time did we go to bed? And all that crap. And you wake up and you realise you've got to tidy up because you didn't put things away properly. And then the kids go, right, come on, can we go and do this? And you're like, back in your mind thinking, oh yeah, oh, let's go and do it. Back in your mind, you just thinking, can't wait to get this day done. I hated feeling like that. And it's not fair. It's not fair on your kids. It's not fair on your family to be dragging yourself through life like that. And I never realised it. And when I got away from this drinking habit, when I was able to stop it, it honestly it opens up so many doors. And there's so many more things I can talk about that have been a huge benefit to it. But because it's the holiday season, I want to talk about holidays, and holidays in particular have been the best I've ever had. Now I have no desire to drink. I never go on holiday ever and think, oh, I'm going to crave a drink. I never do. Non-alcoholic beers for me work lovely. I like a zero in the sunshine. I sit there and think this is beautiful, but I've got no repercussions. I don't fool around. I don't get on a binge. I don't make a prat of myself. I don't, stay up stupidly late and ruin the next day and all that kind of stuff. Those days are gone. And yeah, I wanted to share that. So if you're worried, if you think life's going to be boring and crap, now you're kicking the booze, or you need to kick the drink, or you maybe you're considering it, or whatever. I promise you, it's the best decision you'll make, and I promise you, these will be the best holidays you ever have without it as well. Anyway, I'll love you and leave you there. Have a good day, whatever it is you're doing, and I'll see you again on Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. Have a good one. Take care.